quickly, let's just briefly, let's kind of navigate this card game. We scroll down. Did you scroll down? You see it? Okay. What are your first thoughts about that?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it's just like a graph. It's really like the data and stuff and other things.
Data can tell a story. In this activity, learners play a simple card game to practice orienting to graphs, including noticing the axes and units of measure. They describe the pattern in the data and practice interpreting the meaning. They use their creativity to make up stories that describe the data trend.
If you were to tell a story about this picture, what might your story include? Lucas?
The older the person, the more movies they watch.
As a scientist, when we're collecting data, scientists want to display that data, right? And we'll be doing that as well. And we want to kind of look at it with some fresh eyes and look to see like what kind of stories we can generate based on the look of the data. Let's turn this one, graph 1, and it does say what you guys said. As Joe, in this case, Joe gets older, the amount of movies, okay, also increases. Maybe because, just as Jaden and Lucas mentioned, maybe they've seen more movies and maybe they like more movies, right? Okay, so that's an increase over time. Just look at card 2 for a second. What's happening here? Ashley?
The amount of people that haven't used their cell phones has decreased over the years since mostly everyone actually now uses them. And one way or another, like calling their parents or like just going on TikTok, so everyone has one now.
So over time, what's going on like right here in the beginning? What's your guess about that, Lucas?
More people are starting to use them, and then like they're kind of getting more used to them.
Okay, so is there something going on that a lot of people are not using their cell phones? Hard to imagine that for a moment.
Because before the cell phones were only for calls, and now the cell phone.
Ah, yeah. What were you going to add to what Mariana just mentioned? If we look back in time.
I was going to say back then phones were only used to call, and they were big and bulky, and most people just use their landlines for now.
Being that explorer, you're using those skills. And then they themselves start to see that, you know, I can do this. I might not be that great in math class, but wait a minute, I'm analyzing data, I'm presenting this. And my skill set is really improving and I'm comfortable. And that's a big key to this setting, is to help build their confidence with it. Okay, so technology has changed, right? And part of our journey, we're using our Chromebooks right now. Right? We're going to navigate with our Chromebooks, we're going to do some graphing and try to see if we can help the scientists. We too are scientists in this room. Do you feel like a scientist in this room right now? You do, right?
This activity helps build data literacy by focusing on orienting to and describing patterns in graphs. Learners ask, what do the axes represent? What is the pattern? This experience helps learners build their confidence and skill set for engaging with real-world data from Antarctica in their next activity.